It's snow, sleet, and freezing rain in the morning, and then we'll see rain showers for the rest of the day with cloudy skies and a high. Thursday, rain showers with a high of 56 degrees. And going into Friday, we'll see isolated snow showers in the morning, then cloudy skies with a high around 40. Saturday will be mostly sunny with a high of 47 degrees, and Sunday we'll see isolated rain and snow showers with a high of 48. I'm meteorologist Amanda Edwards with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Currently 19.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW. WSGW.com.
Well, good morning to you and welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Brand new week, final few days of the month of March. Boy, this one blew by. It seems like yesterday I was saying, look, it's coming in like a lamb. And it sort of went out temperature-wise as a lion, or will anyway. But here we are on this Monday morning from my Saginaw Spirit Home studio. And our program brought to you by Linda Shepherd at Pinnacle Realty. For all of your real estate needs, commercial or residential, give Linda a call. Put her to work for you at 989-295-7713. Or visit Pinnacle Realty at The Point, M46 and M47 in Saginaw Township, where you'll find Cafe 476 and its delicious soups and beverages and foods. All right. Let's see. What are we doing today? Well, this hour will be open phones, whatever you want to chat about. At 10 o'clock, we're going to talk to State Senator Ken Horn. A lot of it has to do with economic development in the state of Michigan. And we will have more open phones for you during Focus because we don't have a Focus guest today. So we will continue open phones right through around 11:30. So our numbers, no, it's only one number, 989-752-6111. 989-752-6111. The old 866 number no longer valid because we've discovered, of course, that most carriers don't charge you long distance and roaming anymore, so it's a free call. It really doesn't matter where you are in the state of Michigan or, for that matter, the country or some other country. Just remember our area code and remember our country code is +1. Other than that, no restrictions. Lots to talk about, including March Madness and the Oscars, which I did not watch. Biden and Biden's speech in which he alluded to replacing Putin, that he should not be in power, and there's been a lot of pushback on that. He's also proposing a 20% minimum billionaire tax. That and lots more out there. But as always, we defer to the phones, and since they're loaded right now, we're going to go to them. Chris starts us out in Freeland. Chris, good morning. Chris.
Before 9 o'clock.
There you are.
Dave talked about gas prices. And did he say that Saginaw and Flint and Grand Rapids were the cheapest?
I heard Saginaw and Flint. I'm not sure about Grand Rapids, but yeah, in the state, our average price is cheaper than anybody else's right now.
All right. Well, Midland's about 20% than Saginaw.
Say that again.
Midland has stations that are about 15 to 20 cents cheaper than Saginaw.
What's their price right now?
I can get gas at 2 stations in Midland for $3.89.
Oh yeah, boy, that is cheap. All right, well,
now,
Midland. Midland should be included in that list. I think when they put these lists out, they pick areas by population. So I assume that's how it got that way. But all right, we'll drive to Midland to get gas. That's cheap. That almost makes it worth it.
The Myers. Out by the mall, and the Walmart Murphy gas are those 2 cheap ones.
Walmart, which
Everybody else is Midland. Walmart on the north Midland.
is that Walmart
Wall.
or Sam's Club? Do you have to be a member to get that price?
Well, Walmart.
It's
no,
Walmart.
No.
Okay, good.
It's the Murphy gas station in front of Walmart. No membership.
Good deal. All right.
Okay.
So noted.
Thanks.
Thanks.
All right.
Take
bye.
care, Chris. Errol in Saginaw, good morning.
Morning, sir. You understand English really well?
Hey.
Yeah. Well, about Northern is slang also. Everyone in the state understands English except in Lansing. What language do they speak down there?
Political.
You have any idea?
Yep.
The reason I'm asking the question is they're talking about spending all this money we're getting from Washington. We're going to fix bridges. We're going to fix roads. When the hell are they going to spend the money to fix the residential streets?
Well, that's
what
part
we
of it.
need.
There is, because that is part of the money is going to go to locals to do just that. That is part of the plan.
Can you tell me one street in Saginaw that they're in this township that they are going to fix?
Well, I don't know the list yet. They haven't got the money yet. They haven't got the money yet. But Saginaw has announced that they're doing street work. I know Saginaw is going to do some. And there will be local money for the first time in a long time.
Good. I'll buy you lunch. The first time I see them come down where I live, they got to avoid the potholes and the bumps to get past my house. But that would be nice. I'm going to sit in the front yard and watch it get fixed.
Good.
I feel better now, sir.
Good. Glad to hear it. All right. Bye-bye.
Talk to you. Bye.
And one of the folks at the station thought that that the low gas prices, even though Saginaw was mentioned, it was the Great Lakes Bay region. I'm not sure I heard that, but anyway, that's what they're saying. Carol's in Sheridan. Carol, good morning.
Good morning. Well, I had the misfortune of being down here. Usually when you say Sean Hannity's going to be on, I try and get out of earshot. But it was awful and terrible this morning. And if you didn't hear it, I wish you'd replay it. And I think he should be taken off or something done with this person.
Because you don't agree with him?
It's terrible. Oh, I don't know who does, but I'm telling you, Russian things use this stuff against us. And it was terrible today. It was awful what I heard. And if you haven't heard it, I think that you guys should review it because it was terrible.
Well, okay, but remember, he's an opinion maker. That's all. It's his opinion.
Care. It was on your station.
Well, that's fine. I understand that, Carol. But remember this: half the country disagrees with you.
That's not the way you disagree with people.
Well, that's the way you view it, and I appreciate that. Listen, I appreciate your views. I appreciate everybody's views. I appreciate everybody's views, including his. Whether I agree with him or not makes no difference.
But did you hear it?
No, I wasn't listening to it.
Okay. Just rerun it so you folks can see if you want that sort of stuff on your station. Thank you. I've got places to go, things to do, and people to see. Bye.
Okay, bye. So listen, let's just air this out a minute. I didn't hear it because I was busy doing other stuff. But regardless, Sean Hannity and others, all kinds of talk show hosts, including myself, deal in opinion. I offer my opinion. We don't take people off the air because people disagree with that opinion. You have ample opportunity if you disagree with something I say or somebody else says to call and say so. That's fine. But when we deal with opinion, it's going to rub some people the wrong way. No two ways about it. And particularly if you say things in a way designed to stir people, which seems to be what has happened in the last, say, 20 years or so or more. Things are said which are designed to stir emotion, to get people to view things one way or another. And listen, that's what makes a horse race. If guys like Hannity weren't listened to, they'd be gone. But he's got the biggest show in America right now with the passing of Rush Limbaugh a couple of years ago. Hannity assumes the throne. and he has a huge following. Now, it's regardless of whether I agree with everything he says. Well, I don't know anyone I agree with everything. Or do I like the way he says it? All of those things come into play when you choose to listen to someone or not listen to someone. That's the beauty of this country, isn't it? The beauty of the country is we can sit here, talk about this, decide whether we like someone or don't like someone, decide to listen or not listen. You got a dial on your radio or a button on your digital, whatever your device is. That's wonderful. Use it. No, am I in the business of telling you, no, go listen someplace else? No, of course not. I'd love for you to listen to me and everything else we do. But I understand you're not going to please everyone all the time. It's impossible. In your personal life and your public life, I don't care what it is, you don't please everyone all the time. Doesn't happen. But I understand if you don't like a host one way or another, okay. That's your choice. It's free choice, which is what makes it even better. We will take a break, and when we come back, more on the Art Lewis Show. Lines open for you.
Keep the Saginaw Children's Zoo in mind while you're shopping for special gifts this year. Visit our website to purchase a membership. Make it a wild year and bring a gift from the zoo to your little ones. Stay connected to what's happening at the Saginaw Children's Zoo by visiting our website at SaginawZoo.com.
Saginaw Children's Zoo. How do you do?
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job,
not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
Or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. I am hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Count.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Tesla shares are jumping as the electric car maker looks to split its stock, announcing it will seek shareholder approval to authorize additional shares. Tesla executed a 5-for-1 stock split in the summer of 2020. When shares were better than $2,000 each, they're over $1,000 a share now. CEO Elon Musk making some news of his own, announcing via Twitter he has COVID for a second time, but he's feeling relatively well. He previously tested positive for COVID in November 2020 before a vaccine was available. Investors are waiting for a spate of key reports out this week, including the Case-Shiller Home Price Index on U.S. housing prices and the Job Openings and Labor Turnover Survey, or JOLTS. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lillian Wu, invested in you.
Any supplier can drop a box outside your door. But if you want a partner who delivers great customer service too, rely on Cintas. Your dedicated service reps can deliver what you need to help your business run smoothly. From essential cleaning products to hygienically cleaned apparel, fire protection services to first aid and safety supplies. That service you can't get from a box.
Oh, I'm ready.
Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
When Gretchen Whitmer used money to cover up nursing home deaths and $11 billion unemployment fraud, Annette Glenn pushed a bill banning tax-financed gag orders on state employees. Paid for by Annette Glenn for State Senate.
Hey guys, there is some important news that all men should take very seriously. Your prostate health. Are you urinating more frequently? Are you waking up at night to urinate? Are you sick and tired of prostate pills that just don't work? Sound familiar? If you are one of the millions of men with prostate problems that are driving you nuts, there is some great news. Prostagenics is the all-natural product that beat over 157 other prostate supplements in lab tests and was rated the #1 most powerful prostate supplement in the world. #1, because it works. So why not try some Prostagenics, and your prostate troubles will be a thing of the past. You'll get a great night's sleep and stop waking up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. To get your free bottle of Prostagenics, call now, 800-600-2020. That's 1-800-600-2020. Take advantage of our 90-day money-back guarantee. Call 800-600-2020. Do it now.
Hi, this is Mike Avery. You know you can hear my outdoor magazine show Sunday mornings, 9 till noon on WSGW. But now there's another option. Saturday morning, 6 till 9. Tune in for the latest outdoor news and information, hunting and fishing tips, wildlife and conservation issues, even some wild game cooking. That's Outdoor Magazine now on Saturday mornings too, 6 till 9, right here on WSGW 790 AM and 100.5 FM.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robin show, you know what the dumbest thing that was said over the weekend? How long is this show? There's a lot to choose from.
Man, sure is. Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
Hi, we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show. And before we get back to our phones, I want the guys at the station to look at their access screen, and I'll take Scott in Saginaw. Scott, good morning to you.
Hey, morning, Art.
Good morning.
I got another topic. Good morning. I got another topic I want to talk about, but I wanted to comment on Carol real quick. She kind of reminded me of Blasey Ford, who brought the accusation against Judge Kavanaugh. You know, she says, sometime, somewhere, something happened to me. Somehow I got away from there and I got to someplace else. That's what Carol said when you said, well, what did Sean say? He said something. I don't know what I mean, these people, it just cracked me up. If they have a complaint, get your ducks in a row and bring a real complaint. Don't just complain to complain.
Yeah, I hear you, but that's, she has a right to do that. So that's what it is.
She does. But again, I mean, she called on time and talked about the teachers, and you asked, well, what was the problem with the teacher? Well, I don't know, Art, but they're just having a hard. Get your ducks in a row. Anyways, off that, I wanted to focus over on Joe Biden here. He was over in his speech again, and it really makes me ask, who is really, truly running the nation when the commander-in-chief, and it's not just one time now. Now we have a couple dozen times when Joe Biden has spoke something, and then you have a multitude of people coming out and say, no, that's not what he meant. If the president doesn't mean what he says, why is he speaking?
Well, I'm just going to caution you about that, Scott. First of all, I agree. I mean, he really blew that one, and they backed away from him in a hurry. But other presidents have done the same thing, and all their staff say, well, that's not what he meant. Well, come on. I mean, it happened to Bush. It happened to Barack Obama. Every one of them says something, and then his staff says, no, that's not what he meant. And they rephrase it. You know, they retool it, so to speak. He said it. He owns it.
I know what you're saying about other presidents, but I mean, these are more specific. You know, Joe Biden says, we're not giving $400,000 to the illegals. Well, then he finds out actually his administration is pushing that forward. And then, well, I guess we are. And then we find out they're not.
Yep, I understand. I hear you.
Gaffes.
He's got a lot of them.
Well, as somebody was saying, the reason he goes to Delaware all the time, conspiracy theory, is so that way there's no record of who he's actually meeting with. If people come to the White House.
I would have to bet there is an absolute record of who goes into his Delaware home. Secret Service don't let people just wander in and out. There's a complete record.
I mean, we're not going to get White House records of it, is what I'm saying. This stuff here was being spoken in those meetings, was spoken in those meetings in his private home.
Well,
So
maybe.
that's what I'm saying.
You don't know that, and you don't know what's said in the White House either. You don't know who goes in and out of the White House unless they report it, because you don't check the logs every day, do you? I mean, how many people go in and out of the White House to meet the president?
Yeah, but you know who's going to the White House more than his home and what's being said is what I'm saying. I just really wonder who is really behind pushing policy forward. That's all I'm saying. I mean, because he says one thing, then we find out something else is going on. Yeah. And I know there's confusing times in administrations, but this here, I mean, he seems to be going to the beach, and these guys are heading over somewhere else. It's just bad timing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what can I tell you? Come 2024, he answers for it.
Well, speaking of that, I don't know if you heard the new one. Trump said it sounded like a good idea for him running for Speaker of the House.
For who
that
running?
Would be very interesting.
For who to run for Speaker of the House?
Donald Trump. So somebody else will run for president and vice president, take that over. If we get the House and the Senate and get Donald Trump in there as into Congress, you could have him take Nancy Pelosi's position, and then we could actually maybe watch Law and Order get done for a switch.
I don't know that would ever happen. I don't know the legality of it. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Well, I don't know. They've been talking about it for a while.
Yeah, but I don't know if you have to be a member of the House in order to be Speaker of the House.
No, any citizen can actually be Speaker of the House, as far as I understand.
So I'm going to check.
Nominate anybody.
I'll check, but I don't think that would happen. I'm just, as an honest observer of politics, I just don't believe that would happen. It would certainly be unique, but I don't think it would happen.
I'd love to see it, though. Let him loose on those people and actually start investigating some of those corrupt.
Which, by the way, there was they're corrupt because you don't like their politics, and I understand that. But the bigger story is they are actually investigating Hunter Biden's taxes. They're actually investigating it. Story today.
Well, yeah, because Russia's releasing some information because the oligarchs are getting ticked off at Biden for what he's doing.
Yeah.
I told you this was going to happen. I told you a year ago he was messed up with these people.
All right.
So all right.
Good enough. Take care. Bye-bye. Paul in Saginaw. Paul.
Yeah.
There you are.
Can you hear it?
Yep, gotcha. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, the flip the coin over. I got two issues, but to flip the coin over, I wonder if some of your callers or listeners out there should think that Howard Stern or Jerry Stinger should go off the air. They've been pretty controversial.
I'm sure there's people that do. I'm sure there's people that think I ought to go off the air. I mean, that's the name of the game. That's the business.
Right. The other issue I have is this morning the National News Desk reported, according to the IRS, that 57% of America pays no income tax. Now, according to Mitt Romney, 47% of America receives a government check and lives month to month and check to check. And the other 10% are the rich people who can afford the tax write-offs and the tax.
No, wait a minute. Wait. Let's not get that generic about this. Yeah, 47% of the country may receive a check, but is it Social Security? And are they all on poverty? I don't think so. I'm not. And I get a Social Security check. Don't generalize you can't generalize that way.
Well,
it's not accurate.
The IRS is that 57% of America does not pay any income tax.
It may be true. I don't know.
Yeah.
Depends on your deductions and how many kids you got and all that stuff, I guess.
Right.
And your income. Your income.
Absolutely. So, all right. That's all I had.
Cool. Take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye now.
Okay. Bye-bye.
And let's see. Oh, by the way, we will not be hearing from Ken Horn at 10 o'clock this morning. He's had a conflict come up, so we will look to talk to him down the road, and we'll just continue open phones throughout the entire morning. Wow. Billy is in Freeland. Billy, good morning.
Hi, Art.
Hi.
I'm commenting on the comment about people going in and out of the House in Delaware with Mr. Biden, and who's running policy, and how did you keep a record of all of that? Well, did they keep a record of the golf course in Mar-a-Lago when Trump was in office?
Yeah, they did.
And did they understand that he watches Fox News all day and is advised and guided by their policy and by their advice?
Well, you don't know that.
So,
I mean, that's a pretty good generalization, isn't it? You really don't. You don't know that. He didn't watch Fox News all day.
Well, that's what they say.
Who's they? That's a generalization, isn't it? Who's they?
Well, it could be, but I guess we generalize on both sides and we pick the facts we want to hear on both sides.
Exactly. Bingo. There you go.
I choose to say
Exactly.
that there are two sides. And
Well, I
if,
agree with you. Of course, there's two sides.
If we're texting on January 6th back and forth from Hannity or whoever else was on the air that day or behind the scenes that day, well, there you go.
Well, that's your opinion of it, and that's fine. And I appreciate that. I appreciate what you said, though, that we all pick and choose the facts we want to believe and hear. And you're absolutely right about that. And we choose to listen to who we want to listen to because we agree with them, don't we? I mean, that's all part of it, isn't it? It's just the nature of the beast today.
Not just because we agree with them, but because we have a basis for feeling that we need to agree with them. Yes.
Well, but you agree with them. You have a basis that says, I agree with you. I like what you're saying. You're saying what I want to hear. I mean, that's human nature. And I don't fault anyone for that. I do not fault anyone for that as long as they appreciate the fact that it works both ways.
Yep. So you've got my side.
Okay, Billy. Great. Glad you called. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye now. Lines open for you as they will be throughout the morning. Give us a call.
The will of a farmer is like no other, forged by the strength of generations past, propelled by the hope of what lies ahead. Unpredictability cannot shake its resolve. It wears a coat of courage and commitment, boots made of love for the land. At BASF, we support you with tools for tomorrow. New chemistries, seed traits, and technologies, because we know the world's future will be fed by the will of a farmer. BASF, helping you do the biggest job on earth.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do, but you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh and Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AA Wealth Management, LLC.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Why are you paying full price when you know that you can save money at RocketGrabPlus.com? You can check out our deals right now from Salon Blue Day Spa and Boutique, 120 Fitness, Uplift Creative Center, Woody's Hot Dogs, Wonder Burger, King's Fish and More, and the Hamptons Boutique Tanning and Salon. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com. RocketGrabPlus.com.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. Divorce can be complicated, especially if children are involved. If you're a father and want to protect your role in your children's lives, remember Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men with matters like these for 30 years. Help you.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com.
If you have a small business, Staples has your sign.
Banners for my bakery?
Staples has your sign.
Oh, posters for my new pet store.
Floor decals for a pharmacy. Every day, Staples associates help every kind of small business create bold signs to make big impressions. And now get $10 off custom signs, banners, and posters when you spend $50 or more. This is your sign, so print it big at Staples. Ends 5/28. Visit This is your sign for details.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents
And Doug.
Check it out, Limu, a roadside carnival.
Step right up, folks. Test your strength. Come see the fire-breathing baby.
Let's fan out and tell people that Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Look, an emu wearing sunglasses.
Limu, you're famous. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
Online poll this week is a little bit lighter, no pun intended, since it's going to be about daylight saving.
Nicely played.
The WSW online poll, permanent time. So recently, the U.S. Senate passed the Sunshine Protection Act to make daylight saving time permanent. The legislation still must be approved by the House, signed into law by President Biden. If it happens, we no longer change time twice a year. Many support the idea of no more time changes, though not all are on board that it should be daylight saving time permanent. Some say it should be standard time permanent.
Yeah.
There's our poll question. What should be the permanent time in these United States? Should it be daylight saving time, meaning more dark in the morning and lighter later? Should it be standard time, meaning more light in the morning, darker earlier in the evening? Leave the time changes as they are right now, or you're not sure. Your chance to make your vote by going to on the homepage, find the poll box, and make your vote that way.
John, Dale, Gary, Debbie, are you listening?
The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW. You are with WSGW in the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios.
All right, we're back here on the Art Lewis Show, and let's go back to our phones, go up to Bay City, and we'll talk to Susan this morning. Hi, Susan.
Hi, Art. How you doing today?
Doing well, thanks. Hope you are.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Sun's out, even if it's cold. You know, the Trump rally there in Georgia, and he's just looking really good. You know, he hit a hole in one, you know, and got all new music for his crowd there, and he is looking lean and mean, and he's on it. And the thing that he had afterward, he had a one-on-one exclusive with that John Bachman, and he was talking about his lawsuit against Hillary and Hillary Clinton and that whole Russia type thing. Truth, I mean, I pretty much keep my nose in the news, but I hadn't heard even that he was going after them. And,
there was a news story. No, there was a news story about it. I want to say Friday, maybe, or Thursday. He was in the news, and we even talked about it a little bit. But
yeah, I bet that was a blip. And he went on to say, could you imagine what would happen if they would have ever caught him doing anything like that?
Oh, yeah. Be a third impeachment.
Yeah. And they caught him red-handed. And he said, you know, boy, he said they'd be talking treason. They'd be talking, you know, a life in the gulag, you know. And it's really true. And that they finally are going after Hunter Biden, too. So it was pretty interesting. So I was wondering how many people actually seen that rally and what all they thought of that.
Let me ask you a question, Susan. And this is not because I know how you feel about him. So I want your honest opinion.
Like I wouldn't do that.
I don't want a political opinion. In other words, do you believe Donald Trump will run for president again? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
The thing of it is, too, is I heard the last caller, and that was brought up. And it was kind of funny because I was doing something else and rattling things around, but it almost sounded like, can you imagine DeSantis for president, Marjorie Taylor Greene for vice president.
That'll never happen.
Donald Trump, Speaker of the House.
Yeah.
And
no, I can't imagine it.
I could. Oh, man. You know the old saying of you're going to reap what you sow to the other crowd.
No, I understand what kind of, that would be fantastic Hollywood theatrics. I mean, what a movie there is in that.
But you know what? They would get things done. And, you know, the Democrats have been such bullies. The way they're going after our public, the way they're going after people, families at schools.
Yeah, let me point something out to you. The Democrats are getting things done. You just don't like what they're getting done. And I might agree with you on that, but they're getting things done in the same way that Trump would get things done. And there'd be a whole bunch of people on the other side who wouldn't like what he's doing. And didn't like what he's doing.
I imagine, he is getting things done. He's absolutely ruined our economy. He's got inflation the highest.
Like I said, you don't like what he's. Like I said, you don't like it.
He's opened the borders to our country, and he started a war. He got us out of Afghan, and we lost trillions and trillions of dollars in American lives. Now, yeah, that's getting things done, but I don't think there's any American who can actually say they would stand up and be behind that.
Oh, I'm sorry to disagree with you. There are lots
Isn't
of them.
that a shame?
Well, it's a shame that everybody views it your way or my way or somebody else's way. But that's what makes America great. The fact that you can dissent and you can look at it differently. That's what makes us wonderful.
Absolutely. But, remember the old for the good of the family or for the good of whatever, that we make sacrifices. And, I know a lot of people didn't like President Trump's personality, but like I said, give me a break. I don't pick a doctor because he has the best bedside manner and he tells fun jokes. I want a good surgeon or I want a good doctor. I don't care if he's got a rock.
All right.
Trump is just abrasive, but but by George, he loves America. And I can't say that for Joe Biden. I think he loves the almighty dollar and he's a big puppet.
All right. Good enough, Susan. Have a good one. Thanks. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Yep. Daniel, hang on. We'll get to you next.
For 3 generations, Delta Door has been installing and servicing garage doors in the Great Lakes Bay Area. Now they're looking for additional installation specialists to share the tradition with an ever-increasing number of new customers. If you're good with equipment and have a clean driving record, if you're willing to work a busy week and can handle some minimum physical requirements, Delta Door would like to talk with you about a full-time opportunity as an installer. Apply in person at Delta Door, 2835 Universal Drive, Saginaw.
Garage door service and more on the Delta Door Doctor. Delta Door.
When it comes to cereal disease protection, Prosaro Pro 400 SC fungicide from Bayer makes all the difference. With 3 effective active ingredients for overlapping control of foliar and head diseases and a flexible application window for head scab, it's formulated to lower DON, protect yield potential, and promote superior grain quality. Prosaro Pro. The future of plant health starts here. Visit ProsaroPro.com to learn more. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
Saginaw Children's Zoo in mind while you're shopping for special gifts this year. Visit our website to purchase a membership. Make it a wild year and bring a gift from the zoo to your little ones. Stay connected to what's happening at the Saginaw Children's Zoo by visiting our website at SaginawZoo.com.
Saginaw Children's Zoo. How do you do?
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of you. It doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Research shows people remind them of the past. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, here's an ad that'll really take you back.
Back in my day, I heard a voice from the radio say, Liberty Mutual customizes my home insurance so I only pay for what I need. I'm getting on in years now, but heavens to Betsy, there are some things an old fella like me just never forgets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, then get ready to pay up. The IRS has giant private collection agencies actively tracking down folks who owe the IRS. So if you think dodging them was stressful in the past, whole lot tougher. Optima Tax Relief has this advice. Don't wait. Solve your tax problems now before it's too late. Optima Tax Relief works to stop the demand letters, stop the aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS collectors from targeting you. Ask Optima about the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands, and nobody knows this program better than they do. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and they get results, having resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get a fresh start. Call today for your free consultation.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 9188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
To the fence. It's gone! A home run! Robbie Grossman delivers the win!
The countdown is on. 11 days until opening day. The Tigers play on WSGW.
All right, back on the Art Lewis Show and back to our phones. Daniel is in Midland. Daniel, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Art. How we doing?
We're doing well, thanks.
Bunch of your topics this morning striking a chord with me, so I had to go on and give my 2 cents.
Glad you did.
So I'm going to run down my list. Here. I'm going to make them quick. First one was a Sean Hannity one. I agree with the woman. I think he's vile. I don't like him anymore. I stopped listening to him in 2006. I call him Sean Insanity. He says the same thing. And I'm a conservative, ultra conservative. I can probably a libertarian is what I consider myself. But he's off the rails. I think he's destructive. I agree. But just turn him off then. So that's what I do.
Well, and that's the you hit the nail on the head. That is the answer because I for various reasons I like some of the things he says, but I get tired of hearing them again.
Well, it's the same thing every day. 3 hours of him, I cannot stand it. And that's why it was 2006. I remember exactly when I stopped listening to him.
Yeah.
I couldn't listen to him anymore. It was the same thing. So anyways, on to the next one. We're going, gentleman called in about the, Biden saying things, and he's the leader of the country. He's got to know what he's saying. Can we remember a few things that Trump said that were just completely off the rails?
Yeah, like inject ourselves with Clorox or whatever it was he was talking about, disinfectants.
First one that came to my mind, and then the other one, Mexico's going to build the wall and pay for it, or we're going to build a wall and Mexico's going to pay for it.
Yep.
No, I don't think so. Well, he didn't mean those things. He was just injecture. Okay, whatever. All I want is people to take a realize. It's like they say things sometimes, and it comes out in the heat of the moment. And you know what? I'm not a Biden fan. Believe me, I'm not a Biden fan. I think he's senile and he's lost his mind. The third one is the gentleman, or I think a couple people said Trump might be running for Speaker of the House. His ego would not allow him to be third in command. Period.
That particularly, I guess it would depend who was in the White House and whether it was somebody he put there and can control, or whether it's DeSantis who he doesn't get along with that well.
Yeah, if he was the puppeteer, he could work that way. And it's like there was no way his ego would let him be the third in command.
Yeah.
And the man is he's completely.
I see absolutely no possibility that the House would ever elect an outsider as Speaker of the House. Never. That's my personal opinion. I mean, whether it's based in fact or anything, I just don't ever see it happening.
Well, what's your opinion on him running?
50-50.
Yeah, I'd give it.
I think right now he's doing what Trump likes to do, and that's keep himself in the news.
Yeah, exactly. So
whether he decides to actually run.
If he runs again.
Yeah, I don't know that he actually will. I mean, he may keep people hanging for a long time.
Well, he likes that. He likes the attention.
Oh, he does. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. No doubt, he always has. I mean, all his life, that's been him. Yeah. So, I mean, you're not getting something you don't know about with him. You know what he is when you get him.
Oh, right. Yeah, exactly. And that leads to my fourth one is the Trump doctor analogy. I've heard that one so many times, and I'm just so tired of hearing that he's not a doctor. He's the leader of the country. Be a leader and act like a leader. He does not do that. And like I said, I'm conservative. I voted against Biden this last time. I hate to say I voted for Trump, but I voted against Biden. He's not a leader. Okay. He needs to be a leader. He needs to step up and be a leader. In the analogy, well, if he was a doctor, I'd go to him. He's not a doctor. He's the leader of the country. Act like a leader. So
cool.
I'll leave it at that.
Good enough. Thanks for calling.
All right.
Have a good one. Bye-bye now. That was the lines for you. 752-6111. Don't forget the area code 989-752-6111. Last caller this hour is going to be Dale in Midland. Dale, good morning.
How about Dave?
Okay. Hey, yeah, it says Dave. I read it wrong. I need to get my eyes checked.
That's all right. Yeah, you and I both, mister. It comes with age, right?
You got it.
I'm wondering if you have any different perspective on Hunter Biden's computer in the last week. Is it reality yet or not?
I don't know about the computer. I know they're investigating his taxes. May lead back to the computer. Who knows?
New York Times came out and finally admitted that his computer is a real thing, and
Well, it's a
emails
real
on it are
thing.
a real thing.
Well, wait, hang on a minute. The computer's a real thing. I'm not denying that. I don't know what's on it, is what I'm saying. I think they're going to go back. They're going to go after him. They're going to go after him from the tax standpoint, and that may be the way they get him.
No, that's one way of doing it, but
well, it's it is. Do you realize that that is the most successful way in history? That's how they got Al Capone.
Oh, sure, because they have tax
They have
laws.
the tax laws are the easiest ones to go after him on.
Right, and that's they can hold them. But what concerns me is the fact that there's this computer exists, the emails exist, his association with on these boards were actual things that happen. This person of no experience, no knowledge of what he was sitting on these boards for, being paid millions of dollars.
Yeah. So how do you go after him then? How do you go after him? You go after his taxes.
How is this? He even admitted the only reason
I
he
understand
sat on
that.
these boards is because his dad was vice president.
That may be true, and
that's
but
all
the
I'm
reality is they're going to get him on taxes. That's the reality. Dave, I got to run because I'm out of time. We'll talk again. Take care. Bye-bye now. And we'll be back to close out this hour after these notes.
A good grower always knows the forecast. And with interest rates forecasted to rise in the near future, there's never been a better time to lock in a historically low rate on a new irrigation system at your local Zematic dealer. For a limited time, get an additional 1% interest rate discount on already low financing and the earliest delivery dates in the industry. So your new Zematic pivot is ready to roll this spring. Terms and conditions apply. See your local dealer or visit lindsay.com/spring sale for full details.
Spirit fans, your Saginaw Spirit are back in action Tuesday night, 7:05 puck drop at the Dow. Come join us. Bring Spirit take on the Sioux Greyhounds for an exciting midweek night of OHL action. Downtown Saginaw is going to be rocking. It's going to be the place to be as your Saginaw Spirit skate for a victory. Great seats still available. For ticket info, call 989-497-7747 or go to SaginawSpirit.com. Game on.
What's the most important part of a retirement plan?
Income is king because we only need income. And if you don't have an income plan, you don't have a retirement plan.
That's Kevin Ray, financial coach at Insight Folios. Kevin tells his listeners every week about the importance of income planning, minimizing taxes, and strategies to lead retirement. Learn all about that and get your own complimentary financial review by calling 888-885-PLAN. That's 888-885-7526.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for Style Encore. You are going to get a $40 gift certificate for only $20. At Style Encore, they buy and sell gently used women's casual and business clothing, shoes, handbags, and accessories. And they have all of the hottest name brands at up to 90% less than regular retail. Do yourself a favor and head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to see.
RocketGrabPlus.com. All right, it's going to do it for this hour. We'll be back with another open hour of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Stick around now for the news from CBS and the local report to bring you up to date on the region and the state. We'll talk to you after the news.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Will Smith seemed to shake up with comedian Chris Rock in time to celebrate his Oscar win for King Richard at last night's Academy Awards ceremony. The actor danced up a storm, gold statue in hand, at an after party hours after he slapped Rock across the face when he made a joke about Smith's wife's shaven head on ABC. Jada Pinkett Smith suffers from alopecia. CBS's Steve Futterman was at the Dolby Theater in Hollywood.
Will Smith definitely connected with Chris Rock. It wasn't a punch or anything like that, more like a slap. Now, Los Angeles Police Department officials say they are aware of the situation, but they have said the party involved had charges.
Coda won the top prize last night, Best Picture. In Ukraine, a funeral in Lviv for 2 soldiers killed in clashes with Russian forces. A Ukrainian defense official says there's no sign Russia has given up on a plan to surround the capital. CBS's Deborah Pata spoke with a child in Kyiv trying to cope after she and her family were forced out of their home in the devastated city of Mariupol.
Were you scared? Mm-hmm. Her school was bombed, her childhood blown up. 1 year ago, she celebrated her birthday surrounded by laughter. I had so many friends, she said, and now I have no friends.
President Biden is expected to take the wraps off a plan to tax the wealthiest Americans. CBS's Sarah Ewell-Weiss.
The president is proposing American households worth more than $100 million pay a minimum tax of 20%. It would apply to the top 100th of 1% of households, with half the expected revenue coming from those worth $1 billion or more.
Wildfires have forced people from their homes in several states. Here's CBS's Jim Kursula.
Wind-driven wildfires have led to evacuations in Colorado, Texas, and the mountains of North and South have been destroyed, but no one has been hurt. Mary Elaine Rodriguez and her husband had to flee their home outside Austin, Texas.
We didn't have much time, so we just grabbed what we thought was important at that moment and tried to get out of there in 15, 20 minutes.
Schools in Sacramento, California are canceled for the 4th day in a row because of a teacher strike. KOVR Radio's Rachel Wolf.
They claim a quarter of the 40,000 students don't even have a teacher on a regular basis. They're plugging the holes with subs and other, employees at the school, which is in the long run not really good for their curriculum.
This is CBS News.
Hire with minimal effort and maximum success. A hiring platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Your local radio stations are here for you. No subscriptions or monthly fees necessary. We're here to give you the news, weather, and traffic you need, and the music you love. But if the foreign-owned record labels get their way, it could stop the music. They want Congress to force radio stations to pay them more money, simply to play their music. Don't let radio go silent. Text LOCAL to 52886 and tell Congress to protect local radio stations. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Finding great candidates. Well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
At Wendy's, March is madness. With our breakfast Baconator. Sausage, egg, and Swiss croissant. Both made with fresh cracked eggs. Or even a honey butter chicken biscuit. And we're just getting warmed up. Get 50% off the official breakfast of March Madness when you order through the Wendy's app. Choose Wendy's.
For a limited time, participating Wendy's via app offer only. Account registration required. No discount applies to taxes or fees. Not valid with any other offer.
.20 at 10:05. Good morning. I'm Ann Williams. Several police departments responded to an attempted ATM robbery this morning in Saginaw Township. They include the Saginaw and Saginaw Township Police Department, state police troopers, and the Saginaw County Sheriff Department. The incident happened at Chase Bank at Bay and McCarty. It isn't known how many suspects were involved or if any cash was taken. Police were using canine units to track the suspects. A fire discovered late Saturday night has destroyed a commercial building near Freeland. It happened at 8570 Carter Road between Midland and Sarl Roads. The building was occupied by Design Tech Custom Interiors. The fire did not spread to other nearby buildings. The cause of the fire is under investigation. No injuries were reported. The Shiawassee Township Police Department returned to the scene briefly Sunday morning when the fire rekindled. More than $2 point of funding have been made available for infrastructure projects through the U.S. Department of Transportation. Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg spoke with WSGW's Rick Antonio to explain how that money will affect the Great Lakes Bay region. WSTW News Time is 10:07.
At Crane's L&M Appliance Center, you more. Hi, I'm Eric Crane. Right now, during our tax refund sale, all in-stock, scratch and dent, discontinued, and rebuilt appliances cost even less. Name brand appliances, expert service, delivery, and installation, all available right now. Take advantage of our 12-month no-interest financing or our 90-day no-credit check financing. Our sale positively ends March 31st. Crane's L&M Appliance Center, 3260 Bay Road in Saginaw, where we want to earn your business.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Why are you paying full price when you know that you can save money at RocketGrabPlus.com? You can check out our deals right now from Salon Blue Day Spa and Boutique, Uplift Creative Center, Woody's Hot Dogs, Wonder Burger, King's Fish and More, and the Hamptons Boutique Tanning and Salon. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com. WSTW News Time is 10:08. The Shiawassee National Wildlife Refuge has some activities planned for Earth Day this year. On April 22nd, starting at 10 a.m., the refuge will host a virtual trivia challenge called Kahoot, focused on the refuge and the Great Lakes. Details of the challenge won't be revealed until Earth Day on the refuge Facebook page. A presentation with the theme Invest in Our Planet takes place, followed by a craft activity and a short hike. The event is open to all ages. Michigan drivers are seeing a small decrease in gas prices this week. AAA says the average cost of regular gas is now $4.14 a gallon. That's still 64 cents more than this time last month and $1.47 more than last year. Drivers are also paying about $11 more than last November to fill up their tank. That's when prices were the highest. Metro Detroit has some of the most expensive gas, averaging about $4.19 a gallon, while cities like Flint and Saginaw have the least expensive gas. Gas regular in Midland, $3.89, $3.87 at the Marathon and Admiral in the Ellsworth Street area at 9 a.m. today. Environmental groups have reached a settlement with Consumers Energy and an energy efficiency case that will require the company to direct more funding toward the utility's low-income customers in Flint. Consumers will dedicate $1 million in energy efficiency funding for households in 6 zip codes in Flint, those that have the highest energy bills and the lowest household incomes. Under the settlement, the utility will also spend $1 million on health hazards in eligible homes, including faulty wiring, mold, leaking roofs, and lead contamination. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom 752-0790. It's 1010. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology Forecast. We'll see a few spotty flurries early today. Otherwise, partial sunshine develops, a high in the low 30s. Winds out of the northwest around 5 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 20. Then for tonight, partly cloudy skies develop, a low near 17. By Tuesday, mostly sunny, high around 40 degrees. Wednesday, we'll have a chance for rain late, cloudy skies, a high of 56. Thursday, a chance for rain showers, cloudy, high 52 degrees. Then by Friday, mostly cloudy and breezy with a high around 40. Saturday, sunshine, a high of 47. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Currently, it's 20.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online. .com.
And welcome back to hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW, another open phone hour. Originally, we were going to be talking to Senator Ken Horn, but he's had something come up in Lansing and was called away. So we will not be chatting with him this morning. We will do that at another date. I'm broadcasting from my Saginaw Spirit Home studio. And by the way, congratulations to the Spirit, winning 2 out of 3 on the road this weekend. Brought to you by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty. For all of your commercial and residential real estate needs, get Linda to go to work for you. You'll be pleased. 989-295-7713. 989-295-7713. Or visit Pinnacle Realty inside the Point, M46 and M47 in Saginaw Township. That's the former ISD building, now called the Point, where you'll also find Cafe 476 and its delicious soups, beverages, and sandwiches, all waiting for you. Again, the Point. All right, open phones, because obviously, since we're not going to be talking to Senator Horn, we will defer to the audience, and we will have open phones for this hour as we did last. 989-752-6111. Last night, the one television show I can guarantee I won't watch. The Oscars. I gave up watching a whole bunch of people pat themselves on the back and try and politicize the event, as they did last night. In the first 10 minutes, I was told Wanda Sykes and Amy Schumer, and I forgot who the third one was, politicized it as only they can. Seems to be the thing. But what's interesting is, of all the awards last night, the things that are getting the most attention have nothing to do with the awards. Well, that's not true, I guess. The first was the 8 awards that they cut out of the show and presented before the show, even though supposedly they mentioned them during the show. There was a huge protest by some of the participants. And then, of course, the event that stole the night. It was not the Best Picture Award, the Best Actor Award, the Best Actress Award, the best. It was the Let Me Slap the Host in the Face Award. Will Smith took exception to a comment made by Chris Rock, who was presenting. It had to do with his wife, Jada Smith. She has a shaved head. Well, it's not because she thinks that's a big fashion statement. It's because she has alopecia. And so rather than have spots of baldness, she decided to go bald. Chris Rock made some comment about it, G.I. Jane 2 or something like that. And Will Smith took exception, went up on the stage and whacked Smith across the face with an open hand. Told him to leave his wife out of his expletive comments, and then sat down. And then, of course, not too long after that, Will Smith won the Best Actor Award and gave a tearful apology to the Academy and his friends for doing it. But yet, at the same time, protects his loved ones. And he said that's what he has to do, protect his loved ones. So I don't know how you feel about it, but it certainly stole the show because it's the headline this morning. You know, the great pictures that won CODA and all of those things were secondary. all the stories topped with the fact that Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. And I wonder why I don't watch the Academy Awards anymore. All right, let's get to the phones. Mark in Midland. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Art. How are you, sir?
Doing well.
Hey, I wanted to talk about the label of white hate crimes. Mayorkas said that that's gripping the nation back last summer. White hate crimes. We saw Jesse Smollett create a hate crime. We saw Asians getting beat up over the summer. I turned on the TV the other day to sit and watch a ball game. I saw Juwan Howard hitting somebody. Last night, I go to sit down and watch the Oscars, and I'm clutching, watching Will Smith hit somebody. Can we reevaluate what a hate crime is? A person creating a hate crime and not labeling it as a black person or a white person.
No,
it seems to divide.
I don't think. I think that the word hate is such a bad word. It's if you take the word and use it the way for a long time it was intended, I guess, it would indicate that the hate crime is because of color of skin or something of that nature. Now it's become a generic term. Everything is a hate crime. It's white hate against black. Yeah. It's black, it's Asian. You name it. Everything is a hate crime. I shudder at that because there is a legal definition and there are hate crime laws which can be prosecuted. So to generically use it that way, I think is wrong.
I agree. Yeah, and that's what I was trying. The point I'm trying to make is, can't we just, instead of saying hate crime, just use another term and not label it as
just a crime?
Just a crime. It's a crime against the person.
Yeah, personal crime.
And the person created the crime, whether they're white or black.
I do want to differentiate hate crime because there are hate crimes, and when it is a hate crime, I think it ought to be differentiated that way. The three dudes down south that killed the guy when they chased him in their pickup truck, that was a hate crime to me. Not a crime. That was a hate crime.
Absolutely. But the media labeled it as three white guys. Even on the top of the news hours, it was always presented as three white guys. And it was so in your face,
yeah, because
it was a hate crime by individuals.
Well, yeah, but no. Just a minute, Mark. Now, we got to be honest about the discussion. What constitutes the hate crime is that a white goes after a black because they're black, or a black goes after a white because they're white. That constitutes the hate crime. So it's pertinent to the discussion to know who did what. If it were just, three random guys and one other random guy without skin differentiation, you wouldn't have heard that because it wasn't a hate crime. It would have been just a crime. It would have just another killing. But in this case, the race is pertinent to the story. So you have to differentiate. You have to know in which stories is it pertinent and in which stories is it not.
I'll go along with that.
I mean, that's the basis. That's the basis of why you hear it that way.
Okay.
But it can, but I will admit to you, it can be used recklessly because there are crimes between the races that are not racial crimes. And so they should not be called hate crimes. Right. But when it's a hate crime, you have to differentiate.
Fair enough. That's why I called to seek to understand.
Well, that's my opinion. Let's put it that way.
Hear you. All right.
Hey, all right, buddy. Take care. Bye-bye now.
Yep.
All right. Lines open, as they will be right through 11:30 this morning. We don't have anyone on focus, so it's an open morning. We haven't done that in a long time, where it's just purely open. Talk about anything you want. Sports, politics, Russia, Ukraine, doesn't matter. We love talking about it, and we love not knowing what's coming next. That's the fun of it. It really is. Most fun I can have, sitting down and not knowing what's going to come. We'll be back with more after these notes.
When state bureaucrats threaten doctors over their COVID treatments, Representative bureaucrats down. Dr. John Fenninger said Annette Glenn's actions, quote, may have saved many lives. Paid for by Annette Glenn for State Senate.
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish, forsaking all others?
I do.
I do. And now, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you roommates. Go forth.
That's not the vow you took. But if struggles with CPAP have you and your spouse sleeping in separate rooms, it might be time to look into Inspire. Inspire works inside the body with just the click of a remote. That's right, just a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you. Review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
See, when they Google you, search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. It's too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Tesla shares are surging as the electric vehicle maker looks to split its stock so it can pay a stock dividend. Incidentally, CEO Elon Musk tweeted he's tested positive for COVID for the second time this pandemic, but is feeling. Chinese electric vehicle automaker XPeng shares also jumping after posting a narrower than expected quarterly loss. Heineken says it's pulling out of Russia as Moscow continues its war against Ukraine. The Dutch brewing giant says its business in Russia is no longer sustainable or viable. Heineken will continue to pay its 1,800 staff in Russia through the end of the year. Oil prices are falling, with crude down about 4% a barrel as China starts its largest lockdown in 2 years in Shanghai, the country's financial capital. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lillian Wu, invested in you.
Economists are warning that sanctions against Russia could trigger devastating inflation, worse than the current 40-year highs. Hi, this is Stephen K. Bannon, and I urge you to protect your savings right now with a gold IRA through Birch Gold, the only company I trust for gold. Just text the word SHELTER to 989898 to get a free info kit on how to protect your savings with gold. Again, text SHELTER to 989898.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
You probably wouldn't leave thousands of dollars on the table at a diner. Why leave thousands on the table with your tax return? Jackson Hewitt will help make sure you don't. This year, there are thousands of dollars worth of new tax credits. Your Jackson Hewitt Tax Pro will help you track down every last one, so you get your biggest refund guaranteed. Don't leave thousands on the table this year. Discover thousands of dollars in tax credits instead. JacksonHewitt.com.
Bear, the rescue dog, had very flaky skin, dropping a lot of fur, and Levette wanted to do steroid injections. I was at a dead end.
DINOVITE.com.
Probably 6 weeks after we started using Dinovite, no more flaky skin. He doesn't scratch and itch. It was awesome.
You get some Dinovite, how happy your dog will be.
Every rescue dog in America deserves Dinovite for 90 days.
DINOVITE.com.
Now, a WSGW Morning Team Show memorable moment.
Rocks releasing a new bag of candy corn called Turkey Dinner Candy Corn.
Beans, roasted turkey, cranberry sauce, ginger glazed carrots, sweet potato pie, and stuffing.
We would never want anyone to do anything unless we, of course, were willing to do it first for you, especially when it's something totally brand new and something that sounds so taste tempting as Thanksgiving dinner turkey candy corn.
It's not the worst thing I've ever had in my life. I'll say that.
It's pretty close to it, though. Oh my God! What do you want to try next?
I'm gonna go with the vegetable. Let's go with the green.
The green bean.
Green bean.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry, but it's not getting any better. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but
They failed the test.
would it be really rude to say that I may vomit?
The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
All right, back with you here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show, for this Monday, 28th of March. Glad to have you with us. Line's open for you. You can give us a call. How are you doing with your March Madness brackets? I bet there are a lot of people crying the blues. I was disappointed that St. Peter's lost. I really love to see an underdog team like that go all the way and have their moment of glory, but they didn't. Still a number of named teams involved in the tournament, and they will probably, one of them, go on to win the tournament. North Carolina was a winner, Tar Heels. Kansas, a lot of blue bloods in the 8, but not St. Peter. The St. Peter's had a run, but they sure can hold their head up high for the way they performed. It was just amazing. And I have to admit, I don't watch. I'm not a basketball fan, but I love underdog stories, no matter what the sport is. So, and the reason I'm not a basketball fan is that I'm 5'7" and never had the right coordination to play the game. I mean, I've tried a couple of times. I've shot hoops and all that, but I never was even close to competitive in basketball. Never one of my sports. But whereas I watch a lot of baseball because I like baseball, and I was fairly competitive in baseball. I like tennis, although I don't watch a lot. And I did play, I lettered in tennis. And I really enjoy hockey, which is a sport I never played. But that's probably, baseball and hockey are probably tied as my favorite sports. And my enjoyment of hockey goes back to my childhood. And it's interesting as to why I like the Detroit Red Wings, for example. And I'm sitting here with my Saginaw Spirit shirt on, proudly, being a member of the Spirit broadcast team. But my dad, when I grew up in New York City, and I was a young little fella, 10, 11, 12 years old, he would take me down to Madison Square Garden to see hockey. And this was the old Madison Square Garden before the days of the newer one. And so at the time, of course, there was the original 6. There were only 6 National Hockey League teams. And New York was the home of the New York Rangers. So he would take me to a Rangers game. But the only team I ever saw were these guys in these red uniforms, the Detroit Red Wings. And probably we did this, I don't know, 6, 10, 12 times. Who knows? I lost count of how many times we went to a hockey game. My dad liked hockey. But come to find out, years later, in just having a conversation with my dad, I said, Dad, why is it that, I only saw that other team in the red? I never saw any of the other 4 teams in the league, the Montreals or what have you. Well, it turns out my dad was a Detroit Red Wing fan in New York City. He liked the Red Wings. So that's what we went to see. We went to see the Red Wings. We didn't go see the Rangers. We went to see the Red Wings. And but it imparted in me a love to watch the game. I think it's some of the greatest athletes in the world that skate like they do, check like they do, handle the stick the way they do. I mean, it's got so many exciting elements. So I grew up with a fond spot in my heart for hockey, and it's interesting. When I came to Saginaw in 1974, I arrived, and the then program director of the radio station picked me up at the airport and said, "Well, Art, before we take you to the hotel, I want to make a stop. Is that all right with you?" I said, "Sure." The stop was the Civic Center at the time, the Saginaw Civic Center, now the Dow Event Center. And before I knew it, I found myself up on the catwalk watching Saginaw Gears and the one and only Dennis DeRozier playing hockey. He didn't want to miss the game, so we went there before we went to the hotel. And that was my introduction to Saginaw. It was a fun time, though. It really was. And now, of course, I'm privileged to count Dennis DeRozier among my friends. And he is such a unique personality. And I'll always treasure the relationship I have with Dennis. He's a fun guy. He really is. So it was on my mind because I just talking about sports and basketball and that stuff. And I just, and I grew up, the game we played stickball in the streets of the city. You'd go down with a broom handle and a rubber ball, a red rubber ball. And you played stickball in the streets, literally in the streets. It was a little dangerous, but what the heck? I mean, it's what you do. You use what's available to you, and that was available, and everybody loved to do it. It was a real fun adventure to get out there and spend an hour or two playing stickball with your buddies. Anyway, I'm rambling. It triggered some memories, and you often wonder, was it as good as you remember it? I'm 79 now, so I think back to when I was 14, 15, 16 years old in the streets of the city, doing a lot of stuff. And I think fondly of it. And I think fondly of my surroundings and my friends. But was it as good as I remember it? I can tell you this. I remember my neighborhood vividly. And a couple of years ago, on one of my forays into New York, where I had some time to kill, I hopped on the number 6 train and went up and visited the old stomping grounds in the Bronx. Got out and walked around. And it was an eye-opener because while the brick was still there, the buildings looked the same. It had a different atmosphere. It just didn't seem the same because the stores I remembered, some were closed. We had a Macy's in our development, and it was closed. There were just a lot of things that had changed. And I just looked around and said, well, I remembered that, but I don't remember it that way. So you often ask yourself, are the memories as good as the reality was, or was the reality as good as the memories are? Interesting question. Let's see. We got Jim in Kochville with us. Jim, good morning.
Good morning, young man.
Morning. Thank you for calling me young man. Have your eyes checked.
Actually, I'm going to go this week. You're talking about memories in this, so we change the topics. I like that topic. I actually seen a person playing catch the other day with a young man outside, and I stopped my car and I said, sir, I want to person I've seen in years outside playing catch.
Mm-hmm.
everything has to be organized sports, and you have to make the team. It wasn't the little leagues like we remember, which
No.
I probably wouldn't have made the teams half the time, But
Well, we had pickup teams, not only for stickball, but we had pickup teams for softball, baseball. We had pickup teams all over the place, and that was the fun. You never knew who you were going to play with.
Well, I grew up in the more northern area of Michigan, and our pickup team was it's kind of amazing how all of a sudden out of nowhere, out of the cow field, we'd have 8 to 10 people show up, and you pick each other. Everybody would pick the team, and then they would hold the bat at the end to kick the tip to kick it. Get the bat first.
Yep.
All these little things. We played kick the can.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But I'm just saying, I love organized sports, but I just you don't see kids playing like they used to. I don't see, even out where I live, where we used to have organized teams, they don't exist anymore.
Well, they're playing, but it's different. I mean, they're organized. They're playing soccer, and it's all organized teams. They're playing baseball. It's little league teams. They play hockey, but they're organized teams. It's a lot of organized sports. And there is an advantage. I mean, there is a certain camaraderie that's developed, and a development of teamwork and what it means to be a team member. So I don't look at that negatively. I think if it's team, it's team. They're still playing sports. That's what counts.
I know what you're saying. I agree with you that as far as the team wise. I'm just saying, seeing maybe it's because of my age. I'm a few years younger than you, not a whole lot. I used to seeing certain type of things. I mean, used to seeing sports being played. I mean, even.
Yeah, you grew up a
I
certain
would
way.
tackle you if you got the basketball half the time.
All right.
but anyway.
Hey, listen,
have a great day,
I appreciate the call, Jim. Thanks. Take care.
Goodbye.
Bye now. All right, that opens the lines for you here on the Art Lewis Show on WSGW.
Are you ready for retirement? Well, Jason and Carl Kreiderman with Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a new book that can help make retiring easier and empower your retirement. They talk about how a well thought out financial plan can make the difference between just surviving and thriving in retirement. Using everyday language, this book explores how a simple process can help you cover all the bases of your financial life, including how taxes can affect your retirement and much more. Your finances are too important to leave to chance. Empower Your Retirement is written to help you prepare for the retirement you desire. Get your free copy of Empower Your Retirement by calling 989-848-1188. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm provides insurance services, investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
For a beautiful look that protects and stays clean, choose Dutch Boy Paint from Menards. Now all 11% off. Get quality products with smart technology like mildew resistant and dirt-resistant paint and primer in the award-winning Dutch Boy Twist and Pour containers. Get 11% off everything, including the full line of Dutch Boy paints. Now at Menards. Good through April 2nd. Savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Hi, my name's Joe Cordell. Sometimes in divorce, courts require the higher earner to pay to the other party what's called spousal support or alimony. Usually this order can be modified in certain circumstances, but such modifications are often complicated and are best entrusted to attorneys that are well acquainted with such matters. At Cordell & Cordell, that's our business. Alone.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor. CordellCordell.com.
Moments like making my kids my famous meatballs mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib. Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for postmenopausal women or for men with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
If you could wave a wand and change one thing about your house, what would it be?
Hold that thought, but forget the wand. Home improvement isn't magic.
If you're a do-it-yourselfer, we can for remodeling and repair.
And how to not get fooled when you're choosing and directing a contractor. Hi, I'm Tom Kreitler.
And I'm Leslie Segretti. Phone in your fix-up questions here this weekend.
On the Money Pit Home Improvement Radio Show.
The Money Pit, Saturday mornings at 9 on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
Broadcasting from the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios. This is WSGW.
Hi, welcome back. By the way, before I get back to the phones, follow up on something we talked about earlier. I did a little research, and the Speaker of the House does not have to come from the body. Does not have to be an incumbent or a member of the House. The Constitution is silent on the question. It only says that that the House will choose its leaders, but it doesn't speak to where those leaders come from or if they're qualified. Now, many historians have looked at it and have interpreted that as to be that the founding fathers assumed that the House would choose a member from within, but they did not specifically say that that's the case. So there have been in the past a few outsiders getting a couple of votes here and there once in a while. And there was discussion by Republicans a number of years ago when replacing John Boehner to bring back Newt Gingrich as Speaker of the House or someone like him from outside of Congress. So while technically the Constitution doesn't speak to it, in reality, I don't see it happening. But that's an opinion, because legally it could. And if enough people get their tail feathers ruffled, you never know. Let's talk to Dwayne in Reese. Dwayne, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Since when is NASCAR no longer part of sports?
Who says it isn't?
Last 3 weeks, Pat Johnson has not had it on the sports who won the race.
Oh, well, I'll pass that on to him.
Wait, I'm right here.
Okay.
I did have it in my sports today. And what I do is we've got 2 reports during the hour, one at the 15-minute mark and at the 50 mark of the hour. And I was able to get it in for and also at 7:50. But when you're dealing with Red Wings hockey, Detroit Pistons basketball,
I know that always takes top spot, hockey and basketball right now,
and the Tigers and Final Four basketball. That just kind of happens sometimes, and I only have so much time. I got to squeeze as much as I can. So that's all. And there will be times, I'll tell you what, especially once the Red Wings and Pistons are done, then I will have more time to talk more of the NASCAR, especially the golf too, as that's going to be picking up with the majors and all that. So I tend to do more in the spring and summertime on those sports. Is that okay?
Not really.
I'm sorry. You're a huge NASCAR fan, I take it.
Yeah, it only takes 10 seconds to tell you won the race, and you can't get 10 seconds in there. Goodbye.
All right, very well, Dwayne. Goodbye. Sorry, Art.
Yeah, no, it's all right. I listen. Every now and then it needs to be discussed how you do that, because you have to make choices. We all have to make choices when it comes to time. I get people upset with me at the end of the hour when I say, "Sorry, got to go."
Yeah, right.
We live by the clock, folks, literally, and so much time is allotted. And you can't make the clock stop. You fill what you have to fill with and make choices, and you take the most important ones first. Now, to some people, obviously, Pat, and you can talk to this, some people, NASCAR is their sport. Some people, it's their only sport,
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah,
I understand
absolutely.
that. I understand that. But the majority of time, is spent on team sports because it's what people
Well,
watch the most of.
And also our local sports.
And our local, yeah.
So that just how it's going right now, and it's such a busy time. And like you said, I mean, I do apologize sometimes that I can't squeeze in as much as I like to, but
I didn't hear you report that this weekend in Saudi Arabia, Ferrari took second and third.
I did not.
In Formula One racing, and they lead the manufacturers championship.
Right.
You haven't heard you say that yet.
No. I haven't. Hey, do you want to take another call, or did you want to take a break?
Let's take the break, and then you
Okay.
set up the call for me.
Will
We'll
do.
be right back with more here on the Art Lewis Show.
Welcome to the trees. Frankenmuth Aerial Park is gearing up for the 2022 season. Here's your chance to come and work in this exciting outdoor industry. They're now actively recruiting for park monitors, park host, and park super. Jobs range from entry-level to supervisory roles and come with fantastic perks, fun people, and room to grow within the company. Click on the Gold Now Hiring button and find all the specific information about these opportunities at zipandclimb.com.
We're planning a trip to Spain later this year.
But our Spanish is...
It's pretty bad. So we're using Babbel.
Babbel's conversation-based method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive, bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
There's no easier way to learn another language.
Ahora hablamos español.
He just said now he speaks Spanish.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free. Just go to Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Uma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending Uma and their all-in-one phone, video, and collaboration solution.
Uma?
Yep. Switching to Uma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Uma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Uma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Uma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, then get ready to pay up. The IRS has giant private collection agencies actively tracking down folks who owe the IRS. So if you think dodging them was stressful in the past, it's going to get a whole lot tougher. Optima Tax Relief has this advice. Don't wait. Solve your tax problems now before it's too late. Optima Tax Relief works to stop the demand letters, stop the aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS collectors from targeting you. Ask Optima about the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands, and nobody knows this program better than they do. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and they get results, having resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get a fresh start. Call today for your free consultation.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robin show, you know what the dumbest thing that was said over the weekend?
How long is this show?
There's a lot to choose from.
Man, sure is.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
Hi, we're back with you here on WSGW and back to our phones. We have Tom in Bay City with us. Tom, good morning.
Good morning, Arthur. I'm working hard on the internet. I'm trying to find the PBA bowling scores from yesterday and then the professional golf tournaments. I didn't hear those scores in Ted Johnson's report. And I'm still looking for the soccer scores from England. And so I don't know. Pat's got to step up his game a little bit.
Pat, do you have a comment?
I know he's only got so much time, and he does a good job. He gets in as much as he can. In fact, sometimes he talks so fast, I might miss something. But I wanted to call, Arthur. I usually check in with you every beginning of every Tiger season, and you're probably going to be doing that shortly. Any predictions on the Tigers? How do you think they're going to finish this year? And
I'm going to go out on a limb. I swore off predicting a couple of years ago because I was always wrong, but I'm going to do it this year anyway. And I think they're going to be 5 to 10 games above 500.
Wow!
I think it's a turnaround year.
Well, I've been telling everybody. I said if we can get to 500 this year, we are making steps in the right direction. But I'll take 5 or 10 over 500. That might even get a wild card game.
You never know.
Yeah,
you never know. I read someplace one of the prognosticators, for what they're worth, was predicting that they would be second in their division.
Wow.
Which you usually see them at the bottom of the pile of the prognosticators. So
right.
We'll have to wait and see. But we will have a prediction show. I'm sure that's on Charlie's hit list.
Good.
And we'll have to see what the award-winning prognosticator Pat Johnston says, because he obviously is the king of prognostication. So we'll see.
I like that. I like the direction they're going with the younger players. They're bringing them up through the farm system.
Yep.
We got several pretty high-profile rookies coming in: Riley Green and Spencer Torkelson, and a couple others.
And the trades they've made, where they've put some experience in the clubhouse, are going to be good, because you have to have that clubhouse experience to pass down to the young players.
Absolutely. And I want to get your quick analysis of the Saginaw Spirit for this year. I know that you're literally at every game, and
young
I've been
team,
to a number of games this year, and I just, I'm a little disappointed.
Well,
this year, but I know that they're pretty young.
Here's the thing. Not pretty young. They're the youngest team in the league.
Okay.
We haven't got the 19 and 20-year-olds that the other teams have. And the ones that we had were injured. Some of our key players, like T-Bone Codd, was out for the year.
Right.
We've had a number of injuries in the key positions. We've skated short, where we haven't even been able to field 20 skaters. So it's been a difficult year for them. They have an important draft coming up, and they hold, I think, 3 picks in the top 30 or 40, something like that, 2 in the first round. So they should be able to get some key pieces of the puzzle and move forward. I think next year will be better than this. Is it going to be a championship year? Probably not, but it will be better than this, absolutely. And a more competitive year. Yet this weekend, they won 2 out of 3 on the road. So
I see that.
More power to them.
I want to give a good shout out to your good buddy, Goose Goslin. They're doing a great job over there. They're providing a fine entertainment value. They bring excitement to the downtown area, 40, 50 nights a year. And I wish them continued success.
All right. I'll pass it on. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Art.
Take care. Bye-bye now. Who do we have now? We have Bill in Bay City. Bill?
Yes. Hello.
All right. Good morning. Good morning.
I got a long-time listener here, and really appreciate your show.
Thank you.
I don't want to be critical, but it was brought up the other day in conversation. I've noticed this for quite some time, but when you advertise one of my favorite restaurants here is Krizak's Restaurants.
Yep.
Restaurant on the south end.
Yep.
And when you advertise it, you say Bay City actually has the west side, east side, and the west side, and then Krizak's is on the south end. And you say the south side of.
I think that's what the copy says. That's why I say it.
Okay. but if you,
so Bay City folks call it the south end rather than the south side. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. And of course, you must also admit, though, that it is on the south side of Bay City.
Yes.
Okay. So,
okay, well,
but I'm checking right now. Yeah, the copy says Krizak's House Family Restaurant at the corner of Cass and Michigan on Bay City's south side. That's what it says. So, I don't know who wrote I don't know who wrote the copy. So,
It's just somebody said it.
I'll change the word to N just for the fun of it.
Okay. Have a good day.
All right, Bill. Thanks a lot. Take care. Bye now. All right. We're going to take our last break for this hour. We're going to keep the phones open through the Focus program till 11:30. So if you missed getting in, you can still call after the news. We'll be back to do more of that after this.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for Style Encore. You are going to get a $40 gift certificate for only $20. At Style Encore, they buy and sell gently used women's casual and business clothing, shoes, handbags, and accessories. And they have all of the hottest name brands at up to 90% less than regular retail. Do yourself a favor and head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Spirit fans, your Saginaw Spirit are back in action Tuesday night at the Dow. Come join us. Bring family and friends as your Saginaw Spirit take on the Sioux Greyhounds for an exciting midweek night of OHL action. Downtown Saginaw is going to be rocking. It's going to be the place to be as your Saginaw Spirit skate for a victory. Great seats still available. For ticket info, call 989-497-7747 or go to SaginawSpirit.com. Game on.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at /trial. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.trial. ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
All right. I get the microphone in my hand here. I wasn't prepared. Anyhow, that'll do it for the official Art Lewis show. We can tell you that we'll continue open phones right through 11:30. So if you miss getting in, we'll have another 15, 20 minutes or so after the news at 11 o'clock to do more of it this morning on Focus. So stick around for that. Before that, though, we've got the news coming up. CBS will bring you up to date on the national and international report, including everything that's happening in the Ukraine, between Russia and the Ukraine. We'll then have the complete local report to tell you what's happening in the Great Lakes Bay region and the state of Michigan. And then we'll be back to talk more about whatever's on your mind here on WSGW. All of that is ahead right after the news.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Steve Kathan. Turns out the best drama was on stage last night at the Oscars. CBS's Steve Futterman was there to see the unexpected unfold.
Oh, it was the slime around the world. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith, upset with a joke by comedian Chris Rock, came on stage in the middle of the Oscar presentation and struck Rock in the face.
Will Smith just smacked the out of it.
The show did go on, although there were initial awkward moments, and later Smith won the Oscar for Best Actor.
I want to apologize to the Academy. I want to apologize to nominees.
LA police say they are aware of what happened, but Chris Rock has declined to file charges. Steve Futterman, CBS News at the Academy Awards in Hollywood.
Coda won Best Picture last night. Ukraine's president says his country could declare neutrality and accept compromises on contested areas in the eastern part of Ukraine, but Volodymyr Zelensky says a face-to-face with Vladimir Putin is the only way to end the fighting. Doctors, meantime, have begun seeing a sharp rise in the number of premature births in some areas of Ukraine. Vicky Barker.
One maternity clinic in Kharkiv was caring for one premature newborn weighing just 600 grams, 1.3 pounds, when the bombing started.
You can't take a child of 600 grams to the basement. It would be a one-way trip. So we made the decision to stay with the children on the ward.
The baby was a twin. Her mother took her to the basement shelter.
Emotionally, it's really hard. It's like splitting my heart between them.
Prenatal clinics in Ukraine say premature births have doubled, even tripled in some areas.
Well, CBS's Robert Costa has more on the fallout from the news that Justice Clarence Thomas's wife texted Trump Chief of Staff Mark Meadows about overturning the 2020 election.
CBS News has learned the House committee investigating the deadly January 6 attack is considering questioning Justice Thomas's wife or inviting her to voluntarily appear. A growing number of Democrats are calling on Justice Thomas to recuse himself from related cases.
The I's have been dotted and T's crossed on the new deal, returning Minneapolis teachers to the classroom after a strike. Parent Aaron Doff is concerned state funding won't keep up.
Well, I'm so happy that the teachers and the kids are back to school. I think we really need the school board to step up and look at the bigger picture and what solutions are there for our kids.
Well, checking Wall Street right now, the Dow is down 124 points. The NASDAQ is up 95. This is CBS News.
There's always something new under the sun. CBS Mornings, weekdays on CBS.
While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a Roof Max shingle treatment and get some life for less money, guaranteed with Roof Max, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859-6751.
At Tub of Towels, we started with the toughest messes and quickly realized Tub of Towels heavy-duty cleaning wipes can clean just about anything, like stubborn brake dust, spilled paint, even permanent marker. There's literally thousands of uses. Proudly made in the USA with over 35,000 five-star reviews. Find Tub of Towels heavy-duty cleaning wipes at your local auto parts store, the Home Depot, Lowe's, and more. Look for the big yellow tub.
Circle up, team. We've got status.
Evelyn's marketing consultancy client roster is skyrocketing.
Okay, so this week is a biggie. We've got the pitch and 3 client meetings.
She needs another analyst before her team's free time plummets.
So who's running the competitive analysis on fruit snacks?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. It connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
You probably wouldn't leave thousands of dollars on the table at a diner. Why leave thousands on the table with your tax return? Jackson Hewitt will help make sure you don't. This year, there are thousands of dollars worth of new tax credits. Your Jackson Hewitt Tax Pro will help you track down every last one, so you get your biggest refund guaranteed. Don't leave thousands on the table this year. Discover thousands of dollars in tax credits instead. Learn more at jacksonhewitt.com.
Live the 100.5 and 790 newsroom. This is WSGW.
It's 36 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Ann Williams. Police in Saginaw Township are investigating an attempted robbery of an ATM. It happened before 2:30 this morning at the Chase Bank at Bay and McCarty. Canine units were being used to search for potential suspects. A number of departments responded to the incident, including the Saginaw and Saginaw Township Police Departments, state police troopers, and the Saginaw County Sheriff's Department. It's not known if the suspects made off with any cash or how many were involved in the incident. Fire investigators are looking for the cause of a weekend blaze that destroyed a commercial building. Around midnight Saturday, flames were discovered at Design Tech Custom Interiors at 8570 Carter Road near Midland in Freeland. Fire crews were able to prevent the fire from spreading to other nearby businesses. No injuries were reported. Fire units returned to the scene Sunday morning when the fire rekindled. They were there only a short time. The U.S. Department of Transportation will be rolling out $2.9 billion in grants for state and local bridge, road, and infrastructure projects. WSGW's Rick Antonio spoke with Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg to learn more about it.
Coming as part of the $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill, funds are intended to help pay for public works projects, including highways, bridges, and public transit expansions and repairs. Secretary Buttigieg says while larger municipalities have been the focus of funding in many cases, $300 million is being specifically designated for part of what's being called the Rural Surface Transportation Grant Program, with funds available for rural communities that may already have projects nearly ready for shovels.
Part of the reason to create a specific rural make sure that these areas don't get left behind. We do see a lot of really important ideas, projects, and programs coming out of these areas that maybe aren't the biggest cities in the country, maybe they aren't the biggest city in the state, but people there deserve good infrastructure just like anywhere else.
State, regional, and local governments will also be able to apply for grant funding through two other separate programs: the National Infrastructure Project Assistance Program, designating fund percentages for massive projects, and the $8 billion Infrastructure for Rebuilding America program for smaller scale projects. Applications for the funds are due by 5 p.m. May 23rd. For more information, you can visit the Department of Transportation's webpage. Rick Antonio, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
WSGW News Time, 11.
Spring is here. Longer, warmer days, trees budding, perennial flowers blooming, and the return of our state bird, the robin. What we're not looking forward to is rain, flooding, thunderstorms, and of course, power outages. No one wants to be caught off guard with the sump pump problem during a heavy downpour. Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning can help you plan ahead to avoid a flooded basement. They sell and install primary electric pumps, as well as water and battery-powered backup pumps. Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning can also bring you back to normal from a wet basement with maintenance or replacement of a flooded water heater, furnace, or boiler. Trust the expert. Mechanical needs in your home. You have a family doctor. Do you have a family plumber? Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, 989-792-8738. Or find them on the web at reamerplumbing.com.
Any way you spell it, Reamer means quality.
WSGW News Time is coming up on 11:09. There's been another small drop in gas prices. AAA says Michigan drivers are now paying an average of $4.14 per gallon for regular gas. Still, drivers are paying an average of $62 to fill up their tanks. The average cost of gas in Metro Detroit is 1 cent more than what we paid last week. The least expensive gas in Grand Rapids. A former leader of a local United Auto Workers branch has pleaded guilty to charges of embezzling more than $2 million in union funds. Timothy Edmonds, who's 54, pleaded guilty Friday to 1 count each of embezzling union funds and money laundering. According to federal authorities, from 2011 to 2021, he was the secretary-treasurer of UAW Local 412. Prosecutors claim Edmonds systematically drained the labor group's bank accounts of approximately $2.2 million by using cards for personal purchases, cashing local checks and transferring money into his accounts, claiming he gambled with the money and spent more on guns, cars, and child support payments. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom, 752-0790. It's 11:10. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology Forecast. We'll see a few spotty flurries early today. Otherwise, partial sunshine develops, a high in the low 30s. Winds out of the northwest around 5 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 20. Then for tonight, partly cloudy skies develop, a low near. By Tuesday, mostly sunny, high around 40 degrees. Wednesday, we'll have a chance for some freezing rain early, then a chance for rain late, cloudy skies, a high of 56. Thursday, a chance for rain showers, cloudy, high 52 degrees. Then by Friday, mostly cloudy and breezy with a high around 40. Saturday, sunshine, a high of 47. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Currently, it's 22.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities. On 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
And welcome to another edition of Focus on WSGW, although a different one today because we don't have a guest. We'll have open phones right through the bottom of the hour. Focus. I'm Art Lewis, by the way, from my Saginaw Spirit Home studio, and Focus is brought to you by RoofMax, the safe, proven, and affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. Find out about RoofMax online at roofmax.com or call Ben at 989-859-6751. That's RoofMax. And I had the pleasure, by the way, RoofMax with 2 X's. I had the pleasure of meeting Ben at the Home Builder Show in Saginaw not too long ago. A really smart young man who he really knows his business. So you might think about it if you want to extend the life of your shingles. Give Ben a call. I was asked by a listener the other day how broadcasting has changed, specifically radio broadcasting has changed since I got it back in the business, which was in 1963. Well, the answer is significantly, particularly in the world in which I live, this world, talk radio world. But I'll go back and do a little history, if you will. They found it interesting, and I know some people have told me before when they've heard me speak about it that they enjoy learning about the business. So I came into the business in 1963. Now I had a first-class radio license at the time. The FCC issued licenses, third, second, first class, in order to work on a transmitter or be in charge of the air signal and switch power and do things of that nature. You had to have a first-class license. It's an electronics license you had to test at the FCC in your knowledge of broadcast law, basic electronics, and broadcast electronics. Now, when I did it, there were no questions about solid state. It was all tubes. That's how long ago it was. And even today, the licenses have evaporated. You no longer need a license. Board operators used to have that is the people sitting in the studio running the show had to have a third class at least. Second class was useless. It didn't do anything. First class license was required for broadcast engineering. Now, they don't even have that anymore. Number of years ago, many years ago, they took everyone with a first class license and they issued them a general license, what they call a general class license. And that's not even required for anything anymore. Mine hangs up in the studio and it's just a piece of paper. It doesn't mean anything anymore. And when I came into the radio business, there were about 7,000 radio stations on the air, all dividing up a radio advertising pie. Anyone who's listened to me for any length of time has heard me talk about this before, that I believe the FCC, in trying to correct a mistake, makes another mistake. It's a series of mistakes. And I think that's what happened back in the mid-'80s. In the mid-'80s, there was a docket called the 8090 docket. What the 8090 docket said was that there were a number of areas in the United States that were underserved by broadcasters. That is, they didn't have sufficient radio service in their communities. And the 8090 docket was an attempt to correct that by allowing up to 3,000 plus more radio stations on the air, which is basically what happened. We went from 7,000 radio stations to over 10,000 radio stations in the snap of a finger. Oh, by the way, the radio advertising pie didn't increase any. So what did that mean to everybody that was dipping out of that pie? A smaller piece, didn't it? The other problem with the whole theory was where those licenses were issued. Now, if you had told me, okay, we're going to issue these 3,000 licenses and they're all going to be issued in Timbuktu and places like that that have very little or no radio service, I would say, okay, you know what? Go for it. If they can do it, fine. But that's not what happened. To give you an example, one of the licenses issued under the 8090 docket was to Carlton, Michigan. Yes, the Carlton we sit in. As a matter of fact, our radio station sits in Carlton Township. How could you tell me Carlton was underserved when I came here? There were 20 radio stations feeding this market at least. But that's what happened. Licenses were given to communities. Never should have got licenses. Now, I sit here today talking to you on one of those licenses because the 100.5 license, WSGW 100.5, that was not the original call letters of the frequency, but that was a license. Other things happened which impact what I do today at the same time. In 86, 87, there was something called the Fairness Doctrine. Fairness Doctrine said that if we talked about something controversial, if someone was on and gave their opinion, I have to go out and find all the other people with opposite opinions and give them equal time, which literally meant nobody talked about anything controversial. Congress failed to codify the Fairness Doctrine. It went away. And that allowed the beginning of what we have today in talk radio. And most credited with that is probably Rush Limbaugh, who created a whole new genre of talk radio because he could. He can now talk about controversial topics. He could talk about politics. And the callers were the balance. If you disagreed, you could call in. So that's how we got to where we are today that way. More to talk about. I'll do it. I got to take a break, and then we will be back to talk a little bit more about the history of broadcast.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Why are you paying full price when you know that you can save money at RocketGrabPlus.com? You can check out our deals right now from Salon Blue Day Spa and Boutique, 120 Fitness, Uplift Creative Center, Woody's Hot Dogs, Wonder Burger, King's Fish and More, and the Hamptons Boutique Tanning and Salon. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com. RocketGrabPlus.com.
Like hearing the songs you love on local radio with no subscriptions and no monthly fees. But there's a new bill in Congress that could stop the music. If passed, this bill would tax your local radio station simply to play the music you love. Text LOCAL to 52886 and ask Congress to support local radio stations. Help us keep you connected to the music, local news, weather, and traffic that you need each day. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
How do you make the most of your mow? Tony and Melissa do it on a John Deere Z530M Z-Track mower.
Jump out of the house, a cup of coffee, and I'm at work.
On a go-kart. And for Rodney, he uses his John Deere X350 lawn tractor to turn his yard into
a happy place. It's a great place to do Tai Chi. I work on my mind, body, and well-being.
There are millions of ways to make the most of your mow. Learn how to make the most of yours at Deere.com. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Here's the deal.
I've had constipation with belly pain, discomfort, and bloating for years. I've tried a lot of laxatives and fiber supplements, but my symptoms keep coming back.
You could have a chronic condition called irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. Linzess, or linaclotide, is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. Linzess works differently than laxatives. Bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2 years old. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. There could be more to your story with IBS-C. Talk to a doctor today. Say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS. Sponsored by AbbVie and Ironwood Pharmaceuticals.
Station, anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
This is the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios of WSGW.
All right, we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show, talking a little bit about the history of broadcast. And one of the other major changes outside of the world of programming that I talked about because of the Fairness Doctrine has been the acceptance of computerization. When I got in the business, computers were not even thought of. I mean, you know, unless you had a building to house an IBM mainframe, you didn't have a computer. You have to remember that handheld calculators were just coming into their own with the little red digits and everything. Remember those? So computerization wasn't even thought of in terms of broadcasting back then. You used turntables, you had tape recorders, you had tape machines, you had a myriad of what I call analog old hard equipment. Now, today, you won't find any of those in a radio station. It's all computerized. Here in my house, as I sit here right now broadcasting to you, I have 4 computer screens. And on one of those screens, I have a split screen so that I can stream the video feed and have a communications panel on the other side of the screen to the radio station. And then I have another computer which controls the radio station computer. And then I have another computer where I keep my email open. And then I have an iPad tablet in which I make notes and set up the program, if you will, for the day. So 5 different computer screens, 4 screens, but I split one. And on top of that, the unit I use to broadcast uses voice over internet protocol and Wi-Fi. And it's a computer and has a little screen. And then I have some interface equipment that interfaces with digital. So that world is topsy-turvy to me. I mean, literally when I got my first class license back in the 60s, late 50s, actually in 60s, it was all tubes. There was not a single question about a transistor on the test. Today, if they were still giving that test, it would be entirely different. There would still be questions about tubes because some of the big transmitters still use big tubes. But you won't find any tubes in the radio station unless it's an odd piece of old equipment. And how we did remotes changed. First, at one time, we had a transmitter in the van. We had to run cables out to the van. Before that, we used telephone lines. Literally, we would go into a business if we were going to broadcast, and we would take one of their phones disconnected and plug it into our unit so that we could dial up the radio station and do a remote. Then along came Marty units, which were broadcast transmitters. The early ones were tube type, and then they went solid state. And then they came up with a remote relay system with the Marty, where you had the Marty unit in your van, and you had a little portable transmitter that shot a signal to the van, which shot a signal to the radio station. You get the picture. Oh, and I forgot to mention at one time we ran cables out to the van. Now, we have a device I could strap on my side called the Access Unit, and this is even an older one. Hang it on my side. It's battery operated. Plug a microphone into it. It's got an antenna on it. And anywhere I could get a cell signal or anywhere I could get a Wi-Fi signal, I could broadcast. I could walk right down the middle of the street. Times have changed. It's a different world. Mark is in Bay City, so we'll take the call. We got to be real quick about it. But Mark, good morning.
Yeah, Art, just following up on times have changed and the tech. Think about it. The Best Picture was a streaming show, was not shown in the theaters. It came via Apple, that Coda picture. So there's new technology right there. Everybody's streaming and they're eating their popcorn in their living room.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But you know, and I remember when they tried to shoot movies with television type cameras.
Oh, yeah.
And you lose some. Film has a certain atmosphere about it and a certain quality to it that you cannot replace with live video.
True.
It's similar. It's similar to digital audio versus the analog audio that you produced out of a turntable. There is a certain richness to that audio you cannot reproduce digitally.
Right.
So,
I think you got to have the big theater with the big surround.
There you go.
I'm
with you.
It's home streaming.
All right, Mark. Have a good one, buddy. Thanks.
All right, bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. All right, we'll be back to close out digitally right after this.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish, forsaking all others?
I do.
I do.
And now, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you roommates. Go forth.
That's not the vow you took, but if struggles with CPAP have you and your spouse sleep, might be time to look into Inspire. Inspire works inside the body with just the click of a remote. That's right, just a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you. Review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided.
My Charmin Super Mega Goes last long, it's TP goes, yeah. Charmin's got 6 rows in one, lasts forever on my buns. Only Super Mega when I'm cleaning. Charmin's got my booty believing.
Charmin Super Mega